Hey, what's up, everybody? Rodney and Kendra here, supporting starting businesses. We just have a real cool gentleman here who I'd like to introduce himself.
So, my name is Chef Paresh, owner of Personal Touch Eatery and Catering. We're at 144 Main Street South in Sarnia, and we're here to cook some food up with Rodney and Kendra.
We're excited, Kendra and I are excited because I came in here, I don't know how long ago that was. It was when the group first started, and we did a nice little thing. And I was at the counter looking this way, and I was just really excited to see what this looks like. This is awesome. This is his cool spot. Let's go.
All right. So today we're going to be making a spicy front street heat chicken and spinach mac and cheese.
So here we are. Paresh has got all the ingredients laid out. He had this done ahead of time. And we are at the stage of...
We're ready to get cooking now. So I've done a lot of cooking classes and stuff, so having the prep set up is not something new to me. But we've got here some butter melting, ready to go. And I've got a pot of boiling salted water. Whenever you're making noodles, you want to have the water taste like seawater. It should taste like the ocean.
I like it.
So the starting of the mac and cheese sauce, we're going to make a roux. So that's the butter, and you got flour, equal parts. So it depends on what you want to make. We're doing a 1/4 cup or a 1/4 pound. So if you do a 1/4 pound of butter, a 1/4 pound of flour. So you want to weigh it out, get everything that way. And spices. This is a secret blend of spices, or I mean, you can mix and match. I'll have a recipe coming up sometime too. Actually, we're working with Josh from Front Street Heat or Top Shelf, and we're looking to put together a little recipe card so people can have access to be able to make this specific dish coming up anytime soon. So you can try it here through the week as our feature. We will also be making some towards the end of the week as our frozen takeout family meals, which we have a freezer stocked full of lots of family meals as well. So lots of different options that way. So with the roux, you want to be kind of cooking it out. You want to cook the raw taste of the flour out. So this usually takes about 1 to 2 minutes. If you were making a gumbo or something like that, you'd be cooking this until it was dark brown, almost black. So different stages of the roux. This one we want to keep pretty light. It's going to look pretty dark just because of the spices that are involved there, but I like toasting the spices as well. It adds a lot of flavor.
That's awesome. It's cool that you're like mentioning different ways that you can do it and how it would be different in that case. That's cool.
Yeah, so starting with the flour, you can add all different types of spices and flavors you want. Now we're going to be, if you wanted to keep it gluten-free, you can use corn flour or rice flour or something like that instead and make the roux doing it that way. And then instead of, like, if you want to keep it dairy-free, instead of using milk like we're going to use today, you can use oat milk, soy milk, different options that way, so whatever your choice is. So we'll also get the noodles cooking. So I've got some elbow noodles, so you can use, again, penne, anything like that. Generally, mac and cheese is usually elbows, but I've seen different variations all the time. So cavatappi is actually one of my favorite. It looks like a macaroni noodle, but with an extra couple spirals on it.
Yeah, that's great. Between the two, love it.
All right, so our roux is ready to go. We're gonna add our milk now. So everything's measured out. So whenever you're adding the roux in, you want to go at a slow pace. Get it kind of incorporated so you get a nice smooth sauce. Slowly add it. Make sure you mix at each stage. You can use a whisk if you want. A little bit at a time. The only thing about using a whisk, especially if you have an aluminum pot, you're going to scrape the sides off, so you don't want to use a whisk too heavy for too long on an aluminum pot. So I find a wood spoon works best.
Very nice.
So as you get more involved and you see that's nice and smooth, you just add the rest of the milk there.
Amazing.
Now the spice blend I had didn't have any salt and pepper, so I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper as I go along. I try to keep it separate from the regular spice blend so that way I can control how much salt and pepper I'm using.
Terrific.
So now we're going to cook that on low, medium heat until it starts thickening up. And what's going to happen is it's going to coat the back of the spoon. I'll be able to draw a line. It's going to stay straight. So you want that to be nice and thick and rich in that creamy sauce. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the cheese in at the end.
Perfect.
You don't wanna add the cheese in too early and let it go on too high of a heat, because what's gonna happen is the oil will actually split from the cheese and it'll kind of break the sauce. So you wanna add it in when the heat's off, right at the very end.
This is great about these videos too, because these are simple mistakes that are easy to make for somebody who, you know, this isn't their profession, right? Like, these are really good tips.
I was trying to keep things nice and easy, and everybody asks, so, you know, are there secrets to this, secrets to that? I have no problem sharing most of my information. I want people to be able to cook. That's why I do a lot of cooking classes. I want people to be able to enjoy what they're cooking and be able to do it at home and feel comfortable doing it at home and doing it on their own. So having that opportunity to be able to just know what the ingredients are, play around with different spices, knowing what you're doing. If you want to add more cayenne pepper to that spice blend, add an extra heat. If you want to add a little more onion or garlic powder, or add fresh garlic and onions into it, you know, there's lots of different ways to kind of modify it to kind of personalize it of your own. And the best part is, it's not Kraft dinner. So now we're at the stage, our sauce is thickened up. You'll be able to see it like this, and I can be able to draw a line like that and see how that just sticks. Goop in there, real nice thick sauce. That's going to coat every noodle perfectly. So now we're going to add in our front street heat sauce. Now this is up to you how little you want to add, how much heat you want. I also marinated the chicken, cooked the chicken breast with the front street heat.
I love it.
So that's all been pulled apart. So that's a good way to use up either leftover chicken, shrimp, fish. Throw that into your mac and cheese, right? So it's lots of options for flavor-wise here. Gonna add some spinach. Good way to sneak spinach into the kids.
And that's a nice amount, hey? That's a really nice amount.
Yeah, it's gonna shrink down quite a bit.
Love it.
And then you can also add some cauliflower in here. You can add some green peas, whatever veggies you're gonna want to add. Obviously, the lighter colored ones are gonna mix in, and people won't know it's there. It's a nice version for the kids.
I was just gonna say that's a genius move for the kiddos.
And then for cheese, I've got a mix here. I've got a 3-cheese blend. I've got a smoked mozzarella and a jalapeno Havarti. But any mix of 3 cheeses, I like the smokiness, a little bit of heat. So I've got a few different cheeses I'm gonna play around with. And you don't want to use all this because we're going to use some to put it on top at the end.
Okay.
As we bake it. So, so about half to 2/3 into the sauce. And then we're going to drain the noodles. But before we drain the noodles, you want to make sure you're going to reserve some of that liquid.
Okay.
You want some of this pasta liquid going in back into the sauce, just to help coat the noodles and add that little bit of saltiness. So drain these over here. I've still got a nice amount of liquid. Pour that back in. Now you just want to stir, get everything coated really well. And this is off the heat. So this is all happening after the sauce, the original roux and your bechamel is thickened up and got to the point where it's nice and coated.
Excellent. Heat's off.
And you could serve it basically like this, let it cook down a little bit longer, let the noodles finish cooking, and serve it just creamy and delicious like this. Or the option of what we're going to do today, unfortunately for our takeout, we're going to be serving it more like this rather than baked, because our takeout containers can't go in the oven and spoil the
Fair enough. One day.
So now we'll transfer it to a baking dish.
There you go.
And one of the things you want to do here, you can use a spoon, but also get a spatula. This technique is called spatulation.
Okay.
So make sure you don't waste anything in the kitchen.
That's excellent.
So you see how much sauce that was in there with the spoon. Now you make sure you get all that deliciousness out. Not wasting any product.
Well, Kendra knows that I'm a big fan of spatulation.
Perfect.
Specifically because I'm that nagging father who tells everyone to stop wasting food.
So now we're going to add in our cheese.
Spatulation, I love it. I'm going to use that all the time now. Tonight, Lola's, can you spatulate this? That looks great.
We got the cheese on top. Now we're going to throw some panko breadcrumbs.
Nice.
But this is also another part. If you're making a smoky mac and cheese, grab some hickory sticks. Chop rough, break them up, put them in a Ziploc bag.
I love
break them apart, put them on top there. You can use potato chips, use crackers, change up your flavor. Pretzels work great with the mac and cheese. Put them in a food processor, bang them up, break them up, put that as your crust. It's gonna add a ton of flavor and just add another crisp component on your mac and cheese.
Amazing. We actually tried the best pretzels I've ever had in my life, like from Red & Co. Oh my God.
The spicy pretzels are fantastic.
Oh my God.
They mix them in with the sweet and salty with the Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. So yeah, those are great pretzels to add in. So Red & Co pretzels for mac and cheese. So.
Yeah, we mentioned it. There you go.
So we're here up in the customer portion of the Personal Touch Eatery. And just to show you guys a few little things that we've got here is our freezer and fridge and some little dry stuff here. So we've got different frozen meals that we do, family frozen meals. We have individual frozen meals. We've got 2 different sizes. A small one that feeds probably 2, maybe 3 people, and our larger ones 6 to 8 people. But depending, if you're having a party and your potluck size, this can go up to 10 to 12 people. So, and we got soups, 2 different sizes as well. These are frozen. We do offer a fresh soup every day as well, but these are our frozen options. We do different hot sauce. We do different fun things here with sauces and chutneys and spice mixes and stuff like that as well. So these are ever rotating types of meals. We don't have a set rotation of meals, so if you like something that you see, come in and grab it because it may not be here again.
Right. Awesome.
It's a fun thing because it gets to be creative and we get to have fun with different ingredients, some things that we find in the market. Like the beef meatballs here that we got right now, those are Dickinson Farms beef meatballs. Making a couple trays right now with like butter chicken. So lots of different family meals available. Come on in, just pick them up. You can get them for delivery if you want to get it through on the dot. Just call ahead, and schedule on the dot to come pick it up for you, and do it that way. And then we have our regular menu. So right here, through our screen, you can kind of see our regular menu there, and see what's those are kind of things. That whole menu is available on Facebook, our website. So anytime you want to check that out, our full menu is available along with the weekly features.
Excellent. And here's the screen, just another step in safety, as always. Fantastic.
Sanitizer screen, yes, absolutely.
Ready to go.
Now we got the big reveal. We're pulling the mac and cheese from the oven.
It smells amazing in here.
That looks great, Paresh.
So generally you can just leave it in the foil, pull the foil out. I always like to put it on a cookie sheet or baking sheet, just make it easier for pulling it out of the oven.
Yeah.
But that's the fun part of it. Now, like, you can dig into it right now, but I like to let it sit, probably about 10 minutes, let it set a little bit. The cheese will get a little bit crispier. And then when you try and scoop out, it'll scoop out nice portions as well. So you're ready to go. And serve that with a little bit of a salad and
you're good.
Yeah.
So we were just going to ask you the obvious question. It's when I found out about you and this amazing place, that definitely the first thing that I was told was your experience with CHOP. And I think it's super important for someone like yourself to be proud of that. And I wouldn't mind kind of hearing a little bit about it, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was on CHOP Canada season 3. It was a great time. So actually just got a memory on my Facebook page that it was 5 years ago yesterday was the date that the episode aired. Now, like, the actual filming of it happened probably, I think it was about 9 months in advance of that filming. So it was a bit of a crazy time, like having to experience that, the competition, and then not being able to say anything to anybody about, like, even being on it until about December. So
that's crazy for 9 months. Wow.
So from July until December, I couldn't say anything that I was even on the show. And then they announced that the schedule and, like, okay, your episode will air like in March coming up. So then I had another 3 months where people then knew I was on the show and asking me tons of questions, trying to get the info, trying to see what was going on, which was funny. But, like, I had fun playing it up. We do a lot of in-home private dinners. Like, I'll do a 3-4 course in-home sit-down dinner for anywhere from like 4 to however many a house can hold. So when you're doing those, people start asking you trick questions and stuff like that, and trying to see what they can kind of get out of you. But I had fun. But it was definitely a challenge. You're cooking with limited ingredients, but this is the kind of mentality I have here. I'll go to the farmer's market, pick out a few ingredients, and I'll try different ingredients as well. shopping local, find different stores here like JB Global, for example. Some of their ingredients or listings on their shelves don't have like real English word or what the product is. So I like to grab something there, grab something off the shelf, try it out, taste it, see what it's like, and play around with the ingredients. So it was kind of like, I love cooking like that, so it was a great opportunity. And I mean, you know, when I left and they said I had too much flavor going on, that's not the worst thing I could have heard, right? Like, you know, for out of all the things that I like cooking with flavor. So I'm not shy about the different spices and everything I use. If it takes a pierce to the right there, you can see a little bit of the spice shelf. And some of the few spices, some are hidden in the back shelf behind there, but I love using different flavors, spices, and playing around with ingredients. And you know, people can do that at home. That's the fun part. You know, try different ingredients, try different spices, play around with it. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I have no problem sharing information. It's a community. I want people to cook. It's always going to be, I can give 10 people the exact same recipe and it's going to turn out different just because the time and the patience and the presence they have making that dish.
100%.
So, you know, for me, showing the love and that when I put into the dish, I know people aren't going to stop coming here because they know how to have the recipe to make the dish. They'll still want to appreciate how it was made by the originator.
Totally.
Love
Absolutely.
it. Well, thank you so much. You know, this was just fun. We were looking forward to it when we talked to Top Shelf. And it was just nice to have you here, man. And we will definitely get this quickly out for you because Monday is going to be the start for this macaroni special for you, correct?
No, so so it'll be on Tuesday. We're open Tuesday to Friday, 11 to 5:30.
Okay.
Our hours here at the Eatery, so you can call ahead, which we recommend everybody call ahead just so we can plan out the flow coming in. But you can walk in. Our delivery is available through On the Dot for one, and then we do also have Skip and Uber as well. But we definitely recommend people coming in, drop in, grab your takeout, and then grab a frozen meal on your way out as well.
Wicked.
Excellent.
Thanks, Paresh.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.